Okay, I'm just gonna do something. I have no clue what I want to do right now. And by that, I kind of mean what I really want to do right now is absolutely nothing. but I should probably do something. So I'm gonna open up a few code files and poke around, see if there's anything useful I can do for a little while, and just have a casual Friday. Let's try to figure something out, huh? How about that? Okay, let's. Okay, we're in the zone of normalcy in terms of font size. Oh, all right, let's. There we go. Um. What am I gonna do today? I simply have no idea. I think it might be a good idea to. Oh, I know what I'll. The first thing I'll do, because I didn't finish it yesterday. VidWizard. I'll finish this function here because it's literally not closed at all. So let's. At least we can start with something simple like that. Oh, the REPL's still open. There it is. Neat. Okay, let's swap those around. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, well, let's just see if I can get this function to work in a useful way. Right, so I have I have some sample files somewhere. Come on. think it's copy C cut and yeah, so LSALH. Yeah, they're just a few megabytes and kilobytes, so they're small files. That's what I was checking. So those sample videos I can use to kind of test out this approach here, at least in theory. All right, let's finish formatting this anyway. So I have to go here, change this dims thing. Let's do it this way. Okay, let's so I have dims and I have border width. Those I need to combine to get the resolution of the scaled down video. So scaled down resolution will be Hey Mike, happy Friday to you too. I hope you're having a good day. I am having a good day, but a slow day, I'll tell you that much. But hey, Friday, slow day, I'm okay with it. Good to see you here in the chat. What was it? Doing pretty well? I'm glad to hear it. I'm also doing well. I managed to get that YouTube video posted and on my channel, so I'm really happy about that. Pretty happy with the result, so that puts me in a good mood. But because I spent a lot of time and energy on it this week, I'm in that, I don't know if you ever get this, where you finish a thing that was your focus for a while, and then immediately after it's done, your brain is almost off entirely. Like you have no concept of what to do next. So I'm in a really good mood with no plan. I mean, to be honest, I think Friday is the perfect day for that kind of thing. I've got the weekend ahead of me. It's nice. It is quite nice. So instead of doing, got a link, you'll watch it tonight? Yeah, here, let me, oop. That should do the trick. Oh, it's a mobile link again. Just get rid of the M dot at the front of the address there if you want the desktop URL. I think if you open that on the desktop, it'll automatically do that for you, but I don't know. I think what I want to do here is actually cam dim Let's do camera width, camera height. How about that? So what I'm doing here is map the function plus 2 times, oh boy, 2 times border onto dims. Then this string here, I actually want to replace it for a minute with string CWX CH. Oh, wait a minute. I don't need to add another string there. I can actually just do this. Okay, so that's that. For context, I guess I'm just, since I literally stopped yesterday mid-function, I am just hitting that function again, and then I might just peruse my to-do list in my SVG library and see if there's anything going on with that. Take a look when I'm done with work for the day. Gonna be in and out for the next 30 minutes to an hour. You have a foundation guy coming to have a look at something for the house. You'll be around trying to participate when I can. Well, Mike, you know, you take care of your house. I mean, a foundation's a pretty important thing, so prioritize that. But if you're in and out and chatting, that's cool too, man. Good luck with that. But thanks for letting me know. You get that foundation checked out for sure. It'd be a horrible, horrible thing if your house just decided to sink down, you know? I mean, obviously it's a little unrealistic, but it's important. It's important stuff. Okay. I have a brain, and it's not working in my favor today. I'm just so tired right now. That's okay. Oh, what did I just do? There we go. Pretty important. You have to fix things that the builders built. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear they did a bad job. That's frustrating. It's part of me thinks that's more of like that's a modern problem with how we build things these days, at least in North America. But I don't know if that's actually true, you know, like if I were settling the the Wild West back in the day, I don't know how good of a homestead I would necessarily build myself. So maybe this has always been the case with building. My own level of craftsmanship when it comes to woodworking, metalwork, and that stuff is something I constantly am happy with, but always want to be improving. I could always weld better, I could design better. So I'm personally never quite happy with something, but that's really different than doing a bad job on the foundation for someone else's house. That's really not great. Let's see here. So I have, where am I? I'm right here now. I'm building this string. Filter complex. Okay, I think I can do this. Okay, so I have filter complex, and this is where I build, oops, I should close it off here. This is where I build out the complex filter. Although I think I actually have to string this whole thing together like this. Let's see if that's gonna be the trick. Oh, I'm gonna just change this right away to shell. All right, now let's finish this off. Copy A, copy, and then output. Let's call it merged for now anyway. That should be fine. Okay, so that is theoretically a working thing, but I have to finish these here. These aren't done yet. For example, this has to not be this part has to be its own thing. It's apply string to interpose x between dims. So dims is the original dimensions of the camera, whereas CW, CH are the dimensions with the border added to it. So this should build the string that I want. Let's actually see that. Let's do apply string to interpose x between, let's imagine it as 320 by 240, right? Okay, yeah, that works the way I want. Oop. Okay, then I have to remember the logic I was trying to build with this filter to begin with. This first line scales the camera input, which is, let's assume it's, well, I make all of my video 1080p, then I do all these transforms to it. So the camera footage, which is the second entry up here, I want to scale it down to the dimensions that I specify in the properties, and then assign the variable name scale video to that video. Then I want to perform an overlay where I overlay that scaled down camera footage onto a solid color, where the solid color is the color specified with the dimensions specified. So what I have to do here is overlay, and I have to replace some of the string here. These eight values are both going to be the border dimension. So those are the X and Y offsets inward. So if the border is 8 pixels, the border is going to be 16 pixels larger in the horizontal and vertical dimensions than the camera. And so to center the camera, you have to add the border width. So that's those there. Shortest equals 1. Oh yeah, this is a flag you have to set when you're overlaying videos. It will by default, FFmpeg will, if you have, let's say, a 5-second clip and a 10-second clip, if you overlay them both, the default behavior is it will start them both at the same time, and then after 5 seconds, it'll have the last frame of the 5-second video paused until the 10-second video stops playing. So I usually would want that, but in the case where you're overlaying a video on a single frame, it's an infinite duration, so it'll never stop. At least I think that's what's happening. So I have to put shortest here so that this second camera overlay will actually stop at some point. Then the last thing here is oh, and then I assign that whole thing to the cam variable, and here is where I actually put the screen footage and the cam footage together. Oh, excuse me. So the zero indexed thing is the screen footage, and then cam is this camera scaled and with the border around it now. And then you overlay that, and this is actually something a little more involved. How do I want to do it actually? So, well, I will need to make a function defin cam offset, and I want to pass into it the same thing here. Actually, I can, this whole thing is going to be exactly the same. So it takes in border and dimensions and position. I gotta think about this just a bit. Right, so what I want to be able to do is specify def positions is can be I don't know how to describe this. So H positions is left, middle, right. So horizontally, you've got the left side, the middle, and the right. Def V positions is top, middle, bottom. Horizontal middle, vertical middle, if a little clunky. So then def positions is, oh, what's that called when you do, is it permutations? Commute? Well, I can do, so positions, I could, this is the easiest way I can think to do this. For H in H positions, V in V positions. For each of those things, you just return HV, right? So using those three things, if I look at positions, it's going to be a list of all permutations of positions, and that's, what'll that be? 2 to the power of 3, right? So 8. Oh, 9. Oh, yeah. Wait, 3 to the power of 2. Right, because there's 3 in each. Yeah. Wait, can I? I don't know. So there's 9 possible positions. So let's call it gap, okay? And it'll be, I'm gonna, for now at least, call, yeah, that's fine. And then this will be position, and position will be any of these possible things. Yeah, that's fine. So let's do, the position is right bottom. Might be better to do it in a map, that way the order doesn't matter as much. Horizontal, let's do right, like I said. Vertical is bottom. Oh, that's maybe hard to read. Just gonna run with it for now. Right, so I need actually, if I do, I don't want to necessarily, wait, I do need to pass in the whole thing, don't I? Here, I do use border. This is width, not border. I do use border. I do use dims, and I actually don't use position in this one. What I do is, here I want to do, whoop, got to be like this. Offset is going to be, no, let's do, we'll do it like this. Offset width and offset height is going to be two values calculated by cam offset, where I pass in props like that. Okay, then here, just so I know this function's done, instead of these numbers here, I have to do offset width and offset height here. Okay, so that's that function, and now I have to make sure I can build cam offset properly. So to do that, I do need to pull the right values here. So I need width from border. I don't need color from border. I do need dims from the camera, and position I absolutely need, of course, that matters a lot. This time I do need, yeah, no, I need border. I don't need I don't need explicitly camera width, camera height. What I can do is, oh yeah, no, I don't know, that's not true. I do need it. Come on. Yeah, and this is width. Okay. Oh, I also, this is not relevant. This is not relevant. Perfect. Okay. So that's a good start there. Here now, position. Oh, I need position, and I also need gap. Okay, so I can do another keys. Horizontal, vertical, from position. There we go. Okay, so in the case, okay, so I'm going to return, I don't know if this is a good way to write this. Cond H is left. These don't actually, they're not going to be used, but I'm just going to keep them there for a reference. Okay, so in the condition H equals L, then you just return for the horizontal value. All you have to return is the gap dimension. H is center. What you have to do is, you can ignore gap. You actually wanted to return half of the total width. Turns out I do need the Oh, if I want to do that, I need a way for FFmpeg to return the resolution of the video. Source. I'm going to see if I can make that work in a moment. I'm going to go to the washroom first for a minute. All right. Let's see. Yeah, okay, I have to now finish another little thing. Great. Cam file is something. Screen file is something. Okay, so that's that. Then I need screen file, and then I need here. I need one more thing in the let. I need screen width, screen height, which is collected by get resolution, screen file, and get resolution is a function that I have to now define as well. Get resolution, file name. It's going to be some shell command ffmpeg. It's going to be I think I have to do it like this. ffmpeg I fname. But what I need to pull from here is out, I think. Anyway, I'll fix that up. I'll add to that in a minute. Here I want to do right, so I'm going to assume that I have the screen width and screen height. So if I am centering horizontally, the position is going to be screen width divided by 2 minus camera width divided by 2, which is CW2. Yeah, that makes sense, I think. And then the last position for horizontal is the right side, which is going to be the screen width minus the gap. So that's the conv, and that should give me the horizontal position, and I do the same general approach for the vertical. They can equal top. So vertical from the top is easy as well. It's just gap. Vertical center is again the hardest one. Well, hardest. It's the most math, but it's just the screen height divided by 2 and the minus the camera height divided by 2. Oop, I have to do that. And then the last condition to check is V is bottom. And then it's just the screen height divided or minus the gap. That's that cond. Okay, that should be done. This will not work yet because it's not done. If I just run shell ffmpeg I on the file name screen, what's the screen cut.mp4, my little sample video. it should spit something out. It's a string. It exits 1 and gives an error. There's got to be a cleaner way to get some data out, right? Maybe I don't need to use FFmpeg. Get video resolution from terminal. Get resolution of a video file from the terminal. ffprobe. I don't want it to print in a JSON. That's annoying. It doesn't return an error code. Oh, that's interesting. V quiet. Let's try I. Let's see what this returns. I only needed to return a simple string, so it didn't do anything. I don't want to print format either. Wait a second. Oh, the print format is not what I need. Maybe it is smart to make it a JSON. All right, well, let's try ffprobe I scut. Well, let's it does just print it out to the error. The exit 0. That's a little weird. Okay, but let's just, I won't complain about it. ffprobe I. So let me do let's take this, let's def A is error from that. Okay, so A is this weird looking string. Let's do string / split. Clojure.string as st. Split lines. Okay, so it looks as if, so here's the resolution. I can drop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. String includes, let's try this. We'll map hash string includes, and then the substring. I don't want it to, no, it's not. Can you do a regex like this? I don't know if this will work. According to this, you can use this. So it's digit plus the X character and then another digit. Oh no, I'm reading that a little wrong. So it's any number of digits immediately with an X and immediately another set of digits. I don't know that that'll be sufficient, but oops, I didn't map that over anything. You goose. Gotta map it over those. Oh, includes. Oh, it's just. Okay, that's, yeah, right. All right, so let's do, actually, here's what I'll do. I want to take, so given this list here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20. This is a ludicrously inefficient way to do this, but hey, I'm okay with it for now. Let's get from vec of this the 20th, 21, 19, yeah. So I'm just using this to get a regex is all. So string split B Did it work? It looks like it worked. But of course, I want to split it and keep it, and I forget how to do that again. I don't think I'm doing it properly. Let's see, Clojure split, but keep match. Oh, that's, they're called lookarounds. Yeah, I just am not certain if there's a more appropriate way to do something. can you just run a regex as if it were a function? It doesn't look like it, although I didn't do it properly. Clojure, run a regex. Purely functional.tv, a good... Oh no, that's just... Oh, maybe this is all... Maybe this is what I'm actually looking for here. Let's do rematches. D plus... again, gotta do it right. Plus x d. Gotta give it a string to search. Ooh. Oh, this is what it is. I have to do D plus. What? Oh. Once again, not doing it right. I don't know what I'm missing here. I thought that should match part of this, right? Oh, no. Okay, so it's matching on the whole string, which is not what I was expecting. Refined for substrings. That would be what I'm looking for. Thank you for the tip. I appreciate that. All right, we're getting somewhere. That's still not, I mean, that's giving me results. Thank you so much. That's extremely helpful. Usually reseek works the best for you. What's the difference between, I'm saying re, is it regex? What's the difference, reseek? Oh, wait a minute. Thanks for chiming in and giving me a hand. I'm struggling today. Okay, that's cool. That's so what I'm getting out now, that is what I was hoping to get when I was trying RE regex matches. So thank you very much. I appreciate the input quite a bit. Are there where's the search? Oh, probably the window's too small. I don't know about that. This is a tangent from my own failures for a minute. I don't really like the idea of the search bar disappearing like that. Well, anyway, reseek. How's everyone doing today, by the way? Hope things are well. Okay, I have to make sure I have to drill that one into my brain because I'm going to need it more often than not. And I'm always going to get it wrong if I don't try to remember. You still hanging in there? That's good. It's almost the weekend, right? You could give yourself a little bit of a break, hopefully, unless you're working weekends. I'm not sure what your circumstances are. But I'm glad that you're tuning in for a bit and helping me out. At the very least, you should know that you've done you've both done a great deed helping me out today. I would have fumbled around for a few more minutes for sure. So now all I need to do, I still need to use this knowledge and actually get what I want here. So I'm just making some cheap wrappers for some FFmpeg functionality that I want to kind of semi-automate when I make my YouTube videos and stuff like that. So I'm just hacking right now and I don't mean hacking in the super cool genius way. I mean hacking in the cutting things up and gluing them together kind of way. So I do need to, I want to take this. If I do get resolution, I give it a file name. Oh, that's right. It doesn't go to output, it goes to error. Okay, so that's the string. But now if I reseek that with the regex here plus x d plus that result there. Oop. Ah. Yeah, so I get more than one result, which is obviously unhelpful. I wonder if I can just cheese it a little bit here. Well, that seems to help. All I did was I made the search slightly more specific. It requires at least 2 digits, and that eliminates these here. I don't think this is very robust because there could be some file that FFmpeg looks at and gives a weirder string output where incorrect data can still match this, but I don't. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. How about that? Since this is not, again, it's just hacking, I'm going to let myself be okay with that for the time being. And so let's just wrap the rest of this up in a little transformation here. Shall pull the error key. Take that. Oh, you know what? I should thread last. That way I can do reseek. If I do, I could use refind in this situation, maybe. refind d plus x d plus. All right, let's try that. Get resolution with s-cut.mp4. So this file, it's a file name that I know is in the working directory, so that's why. Oh, that's wrong. I have to do d plus. I'm just using that little test piece. There we go. That looks correct. And now, actually, I need to split this string now. What's the smart way to do this? String split on x. Oh, that. So I don't. What I have no idea why this is the case. String split. The argument order is the string and then the regex, but something like regex find is the regex and then the string. I don't know why. I don't know what the reasoning is behind having those be inverted like that. That's a little bit confusing to me. I'm not sure I'm happy with that. Because I have to resort to this bad behavior where I wrap it in a lambda like that. It's just that's weird to me. Maybe there's something obvious that I don't understand. Map v read string onto that, and that should be the result I'm looking for. That's pretty good. That's gonna be good enough for my needs here. Oop. Oh, there we go. Okay. So now, the moment of truth. So this is the folder I'm working in. I have C-cut and S-cut. Oop. That's not what I meant to do. And what I want to do is run this overlay camera function. And so these are just 5-second long clips, so it's not a long operation. And if it runs successfully, it'll create a file called merged.mp4, and I should be able to open that and see the results that I expected. So let's def C props, camera props. Come on, can I type? Maybe. And I have this sort of messy looking thing that, again, hacking, not gonna worry too much about it. So the camera file is cameracut.mp4. The screen file is screencut.mp4. The border, I'm gonna make width 8, color hot pink is fine. Dims 480, 270. I don't know why I'm retyping this and not just you know, copy pasting, but hey, so be it. Position, the horizontal position, I want it to be on the right. The vertical position, I want it to be bottom. I should probably not use just single letter keys like that, but I'm lazy today. A little bit lazy today. you know, sometimes Fridays are lazy days. Right, so in theory, I have C props. I should just be able to overlay camera with the C props map. Well, invalid argument, so I have errors. Well then, it didn't work. I can't say I'm surprised, but it's a start. It's a good start. Okay, what could it be? One way to kind of check is to string it instead of shell. This is hard to read. Oh, because of course I strung all those pieces together, but I didn't put spaces between any of the arguments, so it doesn't quite look right. FFmpeg, input, scut, ccut, f blah 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 blah. The color is what I wanted it to be. The resolution seems to be calculated correctly. It might be the filter complex here that is causing an issue at the moment. Oh, I also... Oh, this is wrong here. It injected a Clojure map into there that's malformed. I have to fix that. And what I've done here, so the overlay, I put border. It's actually the border width, not because border, the symbol border here has a nested map in it. So I used the wrong symbol. So let's try that. So that's, once again, the hard to read string, but just very roughly picking my way through it. This looks wrong. Oh, okay, so it might be a valid thing, but these positions are wrong because I did something goofy. Where'd they go? Right here. So in the case where here, this is wrong. So for the width, I need to not only subtract the gap, but the entire camera width as well. And same here, the camera height in that case. So that's the correct calculation. And let's try to run it as an actual command again. It looks like it might be working. Oh boy, what a mess. Exit 0. That's good. Okay, now moment of truth. Let's open merged. I don't want any sound to come through here. I mean, it's not like dangerous. We don't need sound to come through there. Oh. 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 Yes, no, maybe. Okay, that actually worked. Sweet. Okay, well, so now let's mess around with some of the properties and see if it renders with the new stuff. I mean, it's always good to check different inputs on your function, right? Okay. Camera props, same inputs. Let's make the width of this, let's just make things look ridiculous, because why not? Let's do goldenrod, border color. Let's make the dimensions here. Oh, I don't know what it'll do if I give it, let's find out. Let's give it like a square, so the aspect ratio is going to be all weird looking. None of this is going to make sense. But let's also center it exactly. Let's give that a shot. And let's try to run this again. I think this might fail because, yeah, see here? It's asking me for, since the file already exists, it wants to check if I want to overwrite it. And I almost always say yes, but since I can't provide it input, it's failing. I wonder if I can automatically overwrite file. -y. Well, there we go. If that's gonna work, that's a nice quick solution. If I ever document this function, then I have to make sure I understand that. Whoa. Okay, let's open merged. See if it looks ridiculous, but it actually worked. Okay, let's have a look at some code. Oh man, that's okay. I'm pretty happy with that. That's very exciting. I'm wondering if I want to enforce the proper aspect ratio. Let's try. Oop. Oh boy. Let's run one more test here. Let's put it put it left center with a gap of only 100, but I want to make the border width 200. And I'll change the color one more time just for fun. It's going to be that. Oh, something's wrong. I wonder if I can't do a short code like that for the color. Yeah, wow, I didn't know that. What a weird looking camera, but it's working. Okay, so this is gonna be a game changer. Well, maybe that's exaggerating a little bit. When I make my YouTube videos now, I can just run that single function. What do I use for Windows tiling on Mac OS? That's a good question. Yabai. It's so that's not what I meant to click. So you might notice that it doesn't work flawlessly. That's more because I haven't put time in to configure it nicely. I've just used the defaults. But here is the program. Who's the original author here? Oh, it is Kokashia. Apologies if the name's wrong. One thing to keep in mind if you're on a newer version of Mac OS, there's some caveats here. System integrity protection, you need to turn it partially off. There's a few little things to work on, and your mileage may vary. You know, just like any Linux tool or Unix tool, to be a little more general about what I'm talking about. Um, your patience in configuration is proportional to the to the functionality of the output. So uh, there's a lot of stuff I don't like, but that is purely my own laziness. The thing that is a problem with tiling window managers in general that I've encountered is uh, there are some programs that'll spawn smaller windows, right? Like modals or temporary, you sure you want to save this file kind of stuff. And you kind of want those to just be floating windows, but some programs, it pops open a dialog and then your whole screen reshuffles everything because it wants to render a tiny little window somewhere in there. It's very far from perfect. The reason I use it is when I'm doing streaming, it makes presenting everything, like it keeps my presentation fairly easy to maintain. I don't have to juggle windows much. I just have to slide the gaps around a little bit. I happen to like that, but good luck. There might be other ones out there. I forget Mac OS tiling window managers. There's another one I tried, and it was Amethyst, I think. Yeah. Amethyst. Well, I spelt that all wrong. So this is another one you can try out. This one doesn't have the same caveats. It's easier to install, but I did try it and I didn't enjoy it nearly as much. It didn't look as nice. Yeah, but no, that's all I got. That is the extent of my knowledge when it comes to window managers on Mac OS. In the near future, I'm gonna build a new computer and I'm gonna go full on Linux installs and go crazy with the OS customization, and then I'll be an expert in my very specific configuration. But until then, I'm happy with how it is. All right, so that function is pretty cool. I like it quite a bit. Working that way is nice. Since I so what I'm thinking is, well, first of all, let's I will leave that. Right, so what am I thinking? Since I have the overlay stuff all configured with a map, I could kind of make, I'm wondering if a good way to interface with these functions in a real scenario where I want to edit another video or something, to have like an Eden file that, so I run, I turn this into like a CLI tool, and I like let's imagine it's called VidWiz, Video Wizard, or something cooler sounding than that I don't know yet. So let's imagine that I run it on the command line like this, and I just run it with input props.eden, or whatever, video.eden, and that Eden file specifies all of the required properties for running the various transformations. I don't know. I wonder if that's a good idea. It seems like it could be, but I don't know. At the very least, this function here, overlay camera, is already going to save me a little bit of effort. It calculates all the hard stuff for me, so that's that's fantastic. I'm happy with that. That's really nice. Okay. I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm talking like 2 minutes. I'll be right back, and then I'll try to come up with something else to do before the end of the day. I'm not entirely sure what that'll be yet, but something will come to mind. I will be right back. Okay, let's see. Let's see what else I can come up with here on this casual Friday. Anyone else working on anything cool today? Or have anything that they want to work on soon? Resize video. Hey Mike, you're all finished up? Glad to hear it. That your house is I assume your house is gonna stand up after all. Nicholas trying to make a lib to generate database schemas from Mali specs. Well, that sounds exciting. That sounds important anyway. That's really cool. I don't know what Mali is, to be honest. Mali schema. Let's see. Mike, I'll show you what you missed in just a second. I'm pretty proud of it, but it's basically just one function. I'll show you in a second. I'm not sure what I'm looking at. Wait, by Matosin? They are, yeah, Clojure script stuff. Oh, is this the group or company, whatever they... This is the company that did that routing library, right? I don't know what I'm talking about. What's their big library? They've got... Anyway. Cool. Yes. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Raitit? I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but yeah, that's the library I was trying to think of. Yeah, the routing library. Cool. I mean, so that's the only thing that I remember that they've done. I mean, I'm sure they do lots of stuff. Cool. Mike, I made, well, I'm not sure if you caught any of it, but can I post the GitHub link? Yeah, go for it. No problem. I actually am pretty okay with people sharing links as long as you're not obviously doing anything malicious and you're not being a jerk trying to over promote your own stuff. But people sharing projects, interesting stuff is totally acceptable. Thanks for that. By the way, you can post links. I don't open them on my stream though, for potentially obvious reasons. But yeah, no, you're not affiliated. No, that's cool. Just links, they're treacherous. They can be, but GitHub links are usually pretty safe. So thanks for that. That's really cool. I am opening that one on my other computer here. So Mike, to finally answer your question, I finished up this function here, this camera overlay function. You open him on your VM to investigate. I think, I don't, maybe I am naive. I tend to want to trust people more often than not. And in this case, it's totally cool to post a GitHub link. But yeah, you're totally right. Like if you want to be as strictly safe as possible, you run everything as sandbox, right? Okay, so Mali schema definitions as data. Oh, I'm going to have to look into this. This is pretty cool. I like the stuff they do, so it's good to know. Thanks for the link. That's cool. All right, Mike, I've made this overlay camera function. What I've done here is make a little definition for properties. So if I do, I made this C properties thing, camera properties map. You give it the camera file, you give it the screen file, and then you specify the border you want. So let me make a border of 20, and I want to give the color, you can give it some color like this, or you can give it like HTML colors like that. The dimensions of the actual camera resize go here. What's the proper ratio? Oh, that's not right. Well, let's just do 480, 720. That's 270, I mean. Dyslexic there with that number. The gap, I want it to be, so the gap is the space between the edges that you leave. So the offset, basically, if you overlay the camera in the bottom corner, you could have the gap be 0 and it'll butt right up against it. Or if you have a gap of 50, it'll be 50 pixels up and 50 pixels in. Then the position, the horizontal position, I want to put it on the right side. The vertical, I want to put in the let's do the top. So it should put, so where my camera is on the stream, it's not there, it'll be up. Really easy. I'm sure you could figure that out. Oh, I have to. And then, oh, the only thing I haven't done yet. So right now I hard coded it to write to the merged file. So these here, camera cut and screen cut, are 5-second clips that I have just to test this stuff with. So if I run it, overlay camera with the camera props, you let it run for a second. It's just 5 seconds, so it's quick now. Should be. It dumps the whole result out. Exit 0, so that means it succeeded. And then if I open merged, the file doesn't exist. Oh yeah, open merged.mp4. Thank you very much. So here you can see, okay, let's have a look at some code. It actually, so that's 50 pixels in from the corner that I specified. This whole background is my screen capture, and then this is the camera footage, and the border width and border color match the properties I specified. I can prove it by changing the properties. Oh boy, the Windows are living a life of their own right now. So let's change the corner. Let's do the left bottom corner. Let's make the gap 50's fine. Let's make this not 20 pixels. It's a bit excessive. Let's make it 7, and we'll do goldenrod. So I'm just changing these enough so that you can tell the difference right away. Run it again. Again, give it a second. It's just overwriting the file name, merged in this case. And there we go. You can see it now produced the video, and the camera's overlaid in a different spot. So that single function alone will actually save me a little bit of trouble. I won't have to manually calculate and change my FFmpeg one-liners. I could just run the function with the simple props thing. So that's already pretty helpful. That's really cool. Adobe better watch out with all those slick features. Well, see, that the thing is, so I appreciate it. I am happy with it. It is super cool, but I am not doing anything crazy on my side of things. The power is FFmpeg, right? It is like, I am constantly amazed at this tool. FFmpeg is phenomenal. You could Google, like, there's so many weird things you can Google and make it work in wonderful, wonderful ways. There's a really cool part in the YouTube video I just uploaded. I'm not going to show it now, but I recorded some time lapses of me doing certain drawings, and I used FFmpeg to just automatically lay it out in a grid for me. It's just so cool. All these nice little magical one-liners, you know? Well, they're not magical, but they feel magical. I bet that's what Adobe's doing behind the scenes anyway. I'm quite sure a lot of commercial tools use, if not the entirety of these kinds of things, good chunks of them, or at the very least, probably if you go far enough back in the history of these kinds of tools, you'll find the same people or basically the same initial engines as a starting point to things. That's not to say there's no value in the Adobe kind of programs. One thing that I haven't figured out how to do nicely with FFmpeg is actually do cuts and stuff like that. Like, so you can do a complete cut edit of a video with FFmpeg. What you'd have to do is watch a video, pause when you want to, at the start of when you want to do a cut, write down the timestamp, play, pause when you're ready to jump back in, write down that timestamp. So you have pairs of timestamps, and then you just run, you just cut out every section of a video with those proper times, and then restitch, you concatenate them all together again. Now, are there ways where you could actually make a simple interface to speed that up? Probably, but then you are getting into the value proposition of a non-linear editing software, right? And I'm not here to compete with that stuff. I'm just here to automate some of the pieces that I do already. And yeah, with one function, I'm already happy with it. So what's another thing I can do while I'm still poking around in this project of mine? Ooh, this crop video one is going to be another really important one. This one's going to be a bit of a challenge. So what I actually do, screen, you're gonna, when I'm making a video, if I'm doing stuff that I want to record my code, I use the screenshot thing, and I have a window here. So the dark area is outside of the recording area. The inside the box is all being recorded to a video. So it's not a standard resolution. It's whatever resolution this ends up being. So in this case, it's 1542 by 852. You know, there might be circumstances where I want the video to be, you know, maybe I want it to be like this and like this, you know. So the reason I do that is I kind of like the idea of hiding a lot of the borders and stuff. So in the video, if I'm talking about code, there's not a ton of distracting stuff going on. It's just kind of, the code is kind of right there. And I mean, I do a lot of SVG stuff, so maybe, you know, you've got a browser window as well. Anyway, I still, even though I'm only recording little bits, I sometimes need to crop things out. So in my last video, I recorded like this. And what I did, there was this border through the center of the recording. What I actually did was take a screenshot, open it up in Inkscape, figure out the width in pixels of the first window up to this border, cropped that video, then did the same thing for this half and cropped that. So I had two identical duration videos. They had the same height, but they had different widths. So I cropped one video into two videos, and then what I did is I needed to stitch those two back together. And then what I did is, to get the whole thing to be 1080p, I overlaid that video onto a 1920 by 1080 still image with the same color as the background, so that it all looked smooth and crisp. So that's a lot of independent steps. What I would love to have is a set of functions, or one function that automates that portion of things as well. That'll be a little bit harder because I cannot guarantee that my screen recording footage will have the same crop positions every time. Like I might, because I just kind of eyeball it, I might have to crop different things out for different videos. So I want to automate things, but I still need some way to specify some of the crops, you know? It sounds complex. Would recording via OBS help to reduce the steps required here? Just tell it to capture certain windows or programs that you want to show. It is a good question. So I'll admit, you know, this is the second video I've published. I'm working on other stuff, but so my workflow video-wise is in its infancy. It sounds more complex than it actually is, and I think recording locally with OBS, I don't know. It's an interesting question. The reason I'm a little hesitant is because, well, one, I don't, if I can avoid it, oh no, never mind. I was going to say I don't want to be recording on the same computer I'm writing the code on, but I already do that, so scratch that. That's a silly argument. So OBS could, if you imagine I'm recording with OBS, I could record one window, or I could record the whole screen, right? So if I record one window, that would look good for the case of one window, but there are circumstances where I want to record two windows. And in that circumstance, I now have a lot of stuff that I want to cut out, right? So I still end up having to crop some things. And if I record in one shot parts of windows here, there's actually less that I have to crop out. So imagine I'm recording my whole screen here, and all I want in my video is basically I want this, my code and my REPL at the bottom here, so something like this, and I want synchronized with my actions, I want a view of my app, right? I could have those as two separate videos, and then I have to concatenate and overlay them anyway. Or I could have it all as one, and then I have to overlay a mask to hide the stuff I don't want to show, right? So it feels about equivalently complex either way I cut it. Does that make sense? I'm willing to try different approaches, but it's also, maybe I'm just not explaining it that well. It's just a few steps. Each single step isn't that hard, Then of course, the last thing that I don't know how to automate yet is I record my screen, and I record the audio with the screen footage, and at the same time I'm recording the face cam with my iPhone on a stand behind the computer. The iPhone has really nice, for simple static face cam stuff, it makes good, the quality is sufficiently good for the kind of videos I do. But I have two sources. So what I need to do is when I start, you clap, so you've got a spike in the audio signals, and then I have to synchronize the tracks. And that synchronizing process is easy, but it's manual. I have to look at the audio, and I have to shove one of the audio signals with the video to get it synchronized. So what I would love to do is have something that I think there is a way to do this. What I would love is you extract the audio from the two raw bits of footage that you want to sync. You assume that the clap for synchronizing happens within the first 10, 15 seconds. So all you ever have to do is analyze that short chunk of audio from both. You find, and this is how I don't know how you do it, but you analyze the audio, find the spike, and then find the time offset. And you find the time offsets for both, then you subtract the difference, and then whichever one is the shorter clip, you pipe that into FFmpeg, and you cut the other video so that they share the exact same length, and now they're synchronized automatically. That one is a more complex, even more complex, but one little automation at a time, I think, would be just fine. That one would be a lot of fun to do, though. But I do think this crop one, I could probably get reasonably, like a reasonably useful result even if I do a bit of manual work. So let's def crop prop. I love it. And let's craft an idea about how I want to do this. Well, let's write out a few of the steps that I was describing earlier. So my videos require a few transformations for cropping and padding. So you do screen only to prepare the screen capture. Do the following. You've got to crop the left portion of the video. This is basically always going to be the Emacs, to be the code window, usually Emacs, usually, oh boy, typing, man. Usually Emacs. Do you ever have it where you like look at a word or you repeat a word a few too many times in a row and it just completely loses all meaning in your brain? Like, I don't know how to describe it other than like you suddenly a word that normally, you know, words are innocuous, right? Like your brain understands meaning pretty quickly. But if you repeat something or really focus on, wait, is that actually spelled right? And you say the sound in your head, it just suddenly becomes this weird arbitrary noise, and it just, you spiral into a into a mild existential dread about the the arbitrary nature of meaning and communication. Now maybe that's a little too far. But words sound like nonsense when you repeat them a lot. Okay, so you crop the left portion of the video, then you crop the right portion of the video. This is typically the this is typically a browser window or some visual elements of the project. Right, then merge L and R back into a single video. Then overlay the merged video onto a 1920 by 1080 still background. Here, the background, hopefully, the background should usually match the code window's background color. Spell it the Canadian way. With that, throw that U in there. I'm not consistent with that. Sometimes I write it, sometimes I don't. Clojure. That's basically it, right? So this happens before I merge, or this happens before I overlay the camera on it. So the details I need are width of left crop, width of right crop. It's also true I might need offset of left crop, often 0, but might not be. It could be whatever. The width of the right crop is well, that's whatever. The offset of right crop calculated from left width, left offset, middle offset. That's basically it. Oh, no, and then for merging all that back onto the 1080p, you need to do the position of the merged video when overlaying on the 1920 by 1080. Oh, and I also need the color of the background of the left crop. Okay, so I actually wonder, let's see if I can do ffmpeg get color value from region of video. I wonder if I could do that. Determine the average color of the area of a video. Okay, so this is this is like a bash script, I guess. Looks like it, yeah. Okay, so ffmpeg is used here in this example to create screenshots and shrink them down right away. So you kind of, when you resize an image, you kind of just by default, you end up doing some sort of color averaging. I don't want to necessarily do a color average. I want to crop, I don't know, maybe basically I want to crop the first frame in the screen video probably close to the bottom or something, and just do a check that every pixel has the same color value, something like that. So this is not exactly what I'm looking for. Extract a frame. Okay, so there's this other program, Mini Magic, which I'm assuming is like a subset of Image Magic. Which I don't have, but I have Image Magic, so I could use that maybe. Yeah, so those are all the things I need. Okay, so let's build the map up a little bit. I can use that as a starting point. Since I have a lot of kind of specific dimensional data, I wonder if this would be a spot where it would be smart to, I don't know, say, like, let's say in order for this to work, I have to draw a mask PNG file, and then that becomes the input. but then maybe I'm overcomplicating it. Let's assume I can just type it. Let's do left width, right width. Wait, let's do it this way. Let's do left width and offset. And then right same thing. I'm not putting values in right now, I'm just putting the keys in. So so what I'll do is here, I'll leave a little note to myself here. Left offset is from the left side. Right offset is from the right side. So I can use small numbers, and that's how I would think through it in my head anyway. I can always change that, but that seems kind of good. So let's see here, width of left crop, I've got it here, and the offset of the left crop I have there. The width of the right crop I've got, the offset of the right. So I could either make it calculated like I say here, but I would kind of rather do it the way I have here. So let's go like this. Offset of left crop from left side, from right side. Color of the background of the left crop. Position of the merged video. Okay, so there, here, now I just want I kind of, maybe I should follow the same sort of design I did for the camera overlay. What time is it? Oh, 4:30 already. 4:26. Don't want to round 4 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna go another 10 minutes, I think, and then it's my weekend. Gotta love the weekend. All right, so I kind of do want to have the gap in position thing again. Right, so but should I yeah, kind of think that's gonna be okay. So the crop properties, the left side of things, all you need is the width and the offset. Boom, easy. Right, same thing, width, offset, pretty straightforward. You make those 2 videos from the source. Oh, that's right, I need file name. Yeah, because what I can do here is I think I could make a filter complex where I think I could do that actually. That might be cool. Do it all in one massive step. Perhaps. Time flies when you're having fun. Yeah, it really does. I came into this stream with literally no plan, and I just kind of went at it. And turns out that's sometimes a good way to do it. I'm not going to claim that it always works, but I'm feeling good about today. I'm really happy that I slapped together a simple enough function, and that's already going to save me a bit of time and effort. So that's a big win. So let's imagine some fake information or fake crop sizes just for a little bit of ease here. So the left width, let's make it 500, and the offset from the edge is going to be, let's imagine it's 20 pixels. If it's usually 0, but it could be 20. Kind of makes sense. This is about 20 pixels, maybe 15. If I happen to include the edge of this window in the recording. The right side, let's say it's 700 pixels. And then the offset here, I want to be 40, right? The reason it's more likely to be something like 40 pixels is, let's say you've got 10 to 20 pixels of the very edge here, and then another 20 to maybe, another 20-ish pixels for the scroll bar. And the scroll bar sticks out like a sore thumb when the rest of your screen is this really dark bluish gray. So you want to get rid of it. In fact, probably it's like 48 or something, but it doesn't matter for this. That's something to fiddle with on a case-by-case basis. So merged. This logic is exactly the same as the logic of positioning the camera overlay. So I might want to generalize the camera overlay function to be a generic overlay, but I'll get to that later because I don't necessarily need it to be. And that's made me think, this is not something this is beyond the scope of this little project where I just make these, but this filter complex thing, I could probably make a little DSL in Clojure to more usefully create a filter complex instead of me just making these shell commands with strings all over the place. You could kind of you could make def multis and all that stuff and emit these commands in a more robust way. Might be kind of cool to do. Beyond the scope of what I need to do though, for sure. Maybe that'll grow into something big later on, but I don't want to do another big thing right now. I've already got it. I've got 2 libraries that are the actual focus of what I want to build, so let's not be overly distracted with this kind of stuff. This is more than enough anyway. Is that gonna be enough? So let's define get color, and this is gonna take is it gonna take a file name? I suppose it should. So get color is going to use basically get color crop to tiny square near bottom middle of left screen. Save single frame. Something. Use image magic. to extract the average color or the dominant color, whatever makes most sense, and then return the color as hex string. Oh, and then delete the single frame picture. Those are the things I want to do. What I would love is to eventually be smart enough to, so here, save a single frame it writes to the disk. What I would love is to be able to do something like this, where I crop a tiny square and get a single frame, but it is written into memory in Clojure directly. So I never do a disk write, it just goes to memory. And then in memory you don't use image magic either. I have the very basic algorithm I need anyway, and I just get the pixel color values without the need for image magic. The thing with all that is I don't know how to do it yet. I think there's a way to do that kind of stuff, and it would be really cool to do it. Then you just need fewer external tools, right? Using FFmpeg is one thing, but using FFmpeg and this and this and that is, I don't know, that's not as fun. So maybe that could be useful. Color as a hex string is easy enough anyway. And then deleting, yeah, so if this were all in memory, right, I wouldn't have to delete anything. I wouldn't have to do the disk stuff. But that's beyond my understanding right now, so I can do the thing I know how to do, and using image magic is probably fine. Get dominant color from image magic. Huh. Oh, this is cool. Identify verbose blah.png. Tells you the colors and their frequency. Well, maybe let's try to run something like that. Let me get a sample, single frame, which is, do I have a function for it yet? No, I didn't do it as a function. That's okay. I'll do screen cut seek 0 0, seek to the very first frame, take one frame, open out.png, so it's almost entirely one color. I love it. Oh man, these windows, they have a mind of their own. There. Okay, so let's just run. I don't know if this is gonna work. Oh wow. Oh wow. Huh. That's kind of cool. It actually spit something out. I don't know what it means yet, but there's data. That's cool. It finds a convex hull too. Okay, this is pretty cool. Page geometry, that makes sense. It's the resolution essentially. Ooh, we've got the gamma, the chroma stuff. Oh, look at this. There's uh oh. Wait a second. Oh, okay, it's a histogram. There's 555 different colors. That's pretty interesting. So presumably that's because of the anti-aliasing around the text that's in that still. Man, this is neat. Well, okay, so now let's clear that. Let's, oh, wait a second. Let me actually copy this into my notes at least. Okay, I got 8 minutes, 7 minutes-ish, and I'm at 2.5 hours of streaming. I think that's good for a Friday. Okay, so crop video. So much cool data manipulation to be had in that structure. Yeah, right? Like, it's amazing. That's so cool. Man, I like the power of command line tools that have existed for decades like this. It's so fun. It's really neat. It makes you look like a super hacker too, you know, with all this data flying through the terminal. Even if you only need like one little bit of it, right? It's really cool. All right, so crop video is this whole thing. Get color. You know, I should maybe. I don't know. This is fine. Get color from image magic suite. You run. What was it again? Identify. Oh, I wonder. So I have verbose here. I do wonder if. I wonder what it gives me. Oh, that's much less exciting. That's really funny. Verbose. I wonder. Identify color. No, I tried. Tried to get sneaky. And then image.png spits out all kinds of data. I wonder if it puts it in the error or in out. Identify verbose out.ping. Hectic. Okay, it puts it just in the output. Yeah. Yeah, it puts it in out. All right. There is the data I need. The data I need is somewhere in that mess. Oh yeah, you know what? grep. That's a tool I actually underuse as well. Let's give that a shot here. Grep I color. Oh, of course, this is a fake command that doesn't exist. Verbose. Oh, border color. Okay, that, oh, that's, wait a second. You're definitely onto something though, just piping a few things. What happens? So I don't know if this will work. Let's try, can I run pipe right through here? This is, I'm just totally messing around at this point. But this is a wealth of information. Okay, so I cannot just pipe things like that. I wonder, there's probably, someone's probably invented a Clojure library that does that. Clojure. I'll figure that out later. But you're probably right about oh, of course it's not going to actually give me data. It's just going to give me the line that matches. Actually, let me let's try this and see what differences come out here. Convert out.png, colors 1, reduced color. I don't know if that'll work. Open reduced colors. It actually generated a PNG. There's only one color. If it's a dictionary, you could easily load it into a data structure and pull what you want. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Just get it into like a data structure quickly, right? And then use since I'm going to be pulling that stuff into a Clojure context anyway, get it into that data structure and manipulate it with the native tools in that language. I think that's a smart idea. So at this point I'm just theory crafting different ways of messing around and getting what I want. I'm not trying to make anything complete at this stage. I made one useful function, and I've got the basic design for the next useful thing. And these two functions, you bet I'm gonna try these out when I edit my next video, and I'll see if I can get that edit time down more and more. Boom, I'll be cooking. I'll have videos like crazy. I shouldn't overpromise. That's definitely an overpromise. So one thing, like FFmpeg, you can output stuff into a JSON format. If you can output into a JSON, you can import JSON and turn it into Clojure maps pretty easily. So you can do that with FFmpeg. You could probably do it somehow with ImageMagick. I just don't know yet. So now if I do, let's see, identify verbose reduced colors and see what that spits out here. One other helpful tip, if you want additional lines of data around the one you're searching, you can use dash a number, where number is some amount of lines you want to show after grep finds a line. Oh man, that's very helpful. Okay, I'm saving some snippets here. grep is always a tool I forget about, so let me Mike's help with grep. Thanks for that. That's really useful. Let's go like this. Dash a num shows num lines after the match. Obviously, there's going to be some variability in the data you pull each time. You can get a small snapshot to get a feel of the structure. Yeah, no, that's really helpful. That'll actually be way nicer than spitting the whole thing and just kind of squinting at it and hoping you understand what's going on. So that's extremely useful. I am for sure going to be using that kind of stuff more and more. I appreciate that a lot. Of course, I go and stop using it here. Oh, look at this. So this is a perfect example. Oh, no, never mind. It's not a perfect example of anything. I scrolled too far. Look, okay, this is really cool. So because there's only one color, it collapsed the resolution of the image to 1 by 1. See that? It saves the geometry as whatever size you want, but the resolution, as in the only pixel data it's actually storing is 1 pixel. I think that's what this is telling me, basically. That's pretty cool. I mean, that's a little bit of a guess. I am not an expert in image data, so maybe that's off base, but does this not have a histogram at all? Oh, it does. I just moved past it. Let's see what this color looks like. I mean, that's pretty close. All right, that is awesome. So this is probably not exactly the color because I didn't crop to a spot that only had one color. I reduced the total colors to 1. So I don't know if that kept the most dominant color or if it averaged the most dominant color with all other values in a different way, thus subtly changing the color. But that's for me to explore. That's really cool. Let me do this. Reduce total number of colors. Oop, 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 oop. Come on. There we go. Convert in.png colors 1 out.png. Then you will see only one entry in the histogram section of the verbose identify output. Okay, that is, you know what, that was a really good exploration of how I can approach this problem. I'm gonna call it for the weekend. Gonna head out, do a workout, get my Switch ready, play some games with some friends, and sleep in tomorrow. That's my plan so far. All right. So I had a few people at different times just tune in with the briefest messages that actually really helped me out a lot today. Mike, you helped me out with the grep stuff. I think it was Nick and Nicholas and Chops helped me with some regex stuff in Clojure. That's just so cool. I love it that people know more stuff than me and still feel compelled to join in and participate in that way. I love that. But that's a long-winded way of saying thanks for tuning in and participating. I'm going to get going. Have a good weekend, Mike, and anyone else watching this, either now or in the future or whatever. I hope you have a good weekend and a good time in general as well. All right, thanks. That's all from me. Have a good one. I will be back next week. Bye.